Hello, you made it. Welcome, everybody. I'm Go Via Go Home. This is the Sunday Brunch kit build. Every Sunday, we show up here, we work on a kit, do some weathering, might work on the layout, a little bit of everything. Today, we're starting a new kit. It's new kit day. Who doesn't like new kit day? Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining. Today we've got a new kit. I don't know if you saw my mail call from last week, but I had received a Merchants Row 6. This is brand new. This is when did this come out? Not long ago. I'm pretty sure late last year. So it's a brand new kit. It's the newest of the Merchants Row kits, and I've got some plans for it. So this is what we're gonna. It still has its plastic on it. It's still it's new. It's new. All right. So Ink Railist Brian, how's it going, Brian? And Mom and Son Train Rail Fan, how's it going? And Anthony and Brian and Perry, how's it going, guys? The crane did make it home. Yes, it's on the other side of the room there, away from the cat, so that she cannot get at it. She's looking at me. She knows I'm talking about her. Yeah, because there's like obviously the long string hanging off it, and then all the other strings that are on it. Yeah, I want to keep that away from her for sure. But yeah, so Bubs was at a train store the other day, and we're all in a group chat. So basically, he had said, "Hey, anybody like this crane?" And I believe it's a Keebri kit that someone had done. They built it, painted it. It is slightly weathered, or it's old. I'm not sure. And I think Trackside Mike said that he wanted it. Now, Trackside Mike is all the way in southern Ontario, and I'm basically eastern Ontario, well, northeastern. Like I'm in Ottawa, so I have to get this crane to him somehow. And yeah, so Bubs got it. He took it to the club yesterday, and then I went downtown to the club. Got a chance to run some trains and hang out with the guys, and then he passed me over the crane, and I brought it home. So now I have to get this crane to him somehow. It's not the type of crane that you can package up and mail to somebody, because this thing is delicate, super delicate, and it's huge too. It's like it just fit into the trunk area, the back area of my SUV. So it's all in one piece. So, but anyways, hey Lee, hey Perry. I don't know if I said hi to Perry yet, but I'm pretty sure I did. But he was there. He knows. He saw the crane. Yeah, thing's nuts. So, and obviously Mike, he works with cranes, so it's gonna look good on his desk. So this is the kit that we're gonna work on today, and I'm gonna get right to it. If there's anybody else who wants to jump on and talk kits, or if you're working on something, you're more than welcome to join. I'm just gonna tilt this down so that you can see. There we go. All right. New kit day. Still has its plastic. So these kits are, I'm going to say they're fairly simple, but because it is brick and whatnot, it does add a little bit of a challenging factor, especially if you're not used to painting brick and whatnot. So at least this will give you a good idea of what to expect if you do buy this kit. So if you get all the pieces, I'm going to see what you get in here. So these are decals. So there is Cup of Joe. There is Ira's Hardware, Garden Supply, Duncan's Variety Store. There's a barber shop, Peabody's Pet Shop, Village Butcher, and Fresh Open Daily Bakery. Oh, and a florist. Flora's the Florist. Cool. Will I use any of those? Who knows? Maybe. Maybe not. I like to make my stuff modern, so I might make my own kind of storefronts for these. And of course, you get, different blinds and curtains, and then other little things here. Keys made, tool sharpened, open late, open and close signs, pork chops on sale. Lots of little bits that coincide with the decals there. That's really neat. And one page of instructions, double-sided. So it looks like it's 4 walls with a roof and a floor. Very straightforward stuff. A staircase for the back, like a fire escape, and then the different roof pieces. So this is a brand new tooling as well, which is really neat because you always want to see how they improve or if they improve on their tooling for their building kits. Plastic's a little wonky, but that's okay because once you glue it all down, it'll stay more permanent and it'll stay in one shape. Some wall pieces. These are some very standard wall pieces. Background flats for HO layout. Well, that's cool. Sometimes I like to take kits like this, and I will just take literally the front of the building, or like this is back. But I'll do this, and I put a foam core right behind it, and then I'll put that right up against the backdrop as well. It's something similar to the back flat, a little different at the same time because you're just keeping the look of it, but you're doing just the one side. Okay, so I need my scissors for that. My snips. This is the roof piece, I'm assuming. Yep. It's always weird when they make it all one piece like this. It's a little weird. And then, of course, you get your signs for out front. I don't know how many of these I have now, but I do have a bunch. And it'll give me a good template for being able to add other signs to it. I will add the signage later. Same thing with the glass. I do have, well, it's plastic. It's clear plastic, but I'll add that later as a finishing piece for it once I decide what it is and what's going there. But I can do all the main stuff and get the building together as it's supposed to be, and then worry about all the smaller details later. Now I do have a plan for one of these, but I'm not gonna spoil that yet. No, I don't really clean them. No soap and water. I just right out of the package, I'll clean them up, plastic wise, and then I do my whatever it's called, my base coat primer. There we go. I'll prime it, and then she's good to go. Now this piece here already has sidewalk going along the front of it, much like my other kit. And it's smaller, as you can see. I'll hold that up to there. So that's where the sidewalk is for that, and there's that. So, yeah, the size difference is a little bit off, but that's okay because this is going to be its own individual build. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take curb, which is this stuff here, and then I just put that right along the edge to simulate an actual curb going across there. But I won't need to do that yet because I need to figure out placement on the layout for this. So I'll be able to get the main building together. And then when it comes to placing this on the actual layout, I'll be able to add the sidewalk and the, whatchamacallit, the curb after. I'll go along that with a file just to make sure that that's good. Of course, this all have to get spray painted to look like concrete, which I'll need to get still. I need to get more concrete colors. Hey, Wigwag, how's it going? So there's no real specific order to this. I'm just going through here. I'll do the 4 walls because that's mostly what I need right now. To be able to put this thing together. There's lots of little flash pieces on the inside too. So I want to make sure that they're all dealt with so that they don't become a problem after I've already painted this and everything. Oh, and Mark's here. Hey, Mark. Mark was here on Thursday. We got to run trains together, which was fun. I don't get to do too much of that, so when I do, I really enjoy it. And it's fun to get an outsider's perspective of your layout. So that you know what you need to improve or what needs to be worked on, etc., etc. I know it's near the end of March now, but don't forget, in June, I'm setting up the next YouTube meet and greet here in Canada. And we're going to do that in June, but I'm going to give you more details at a later time. Just need some time to work out some final arrangements and some plans for that. And I'll have information for you on that soon, hopefully. For anybody who's interested. Hey, Calvin, how's it going? Brooklyn, New York. Run CP, CN, and CSX. That's awesome. I also run some CN as well. Loves me some CN. So you'll get to see a lot of that. And a lot of my friends, for some reason, run CP. So they're usually bringing their CP stuff over. Except for Mark. Mark likes his CN, although he does appreciate a good CP locomotive as well. I'm working on my second Walthers Armstrong electric motors background kit, building a plastic industry that will be 6 feet in length, all when all said and done. That's a pretty big kit. 6 feet long. Jeez. I think the biggest kit I built, that's probably a between if I'm doing it as individual kit, one of the whatchamacallits, the steel mill kits from Walthers, which I believe is 3 feet long. Was that the blast furnace or something? I can't remember. There's way too many of those. But yeah, the thing is like 3 feet long. I didn't even have room on my work bench for the whole thing. Half of it was like hanging off while I was working, which was really funny. But overall, biggest kit. I don't know. I like my paper mill. Paper mill's not like, I mean, it's probably over 3 feet long, but it's a combination of like four or five buildings together. And it makes up one big industry. Who's doing Third Rail Thursday this week? That's a good question. We're going to be over on M&M Rails' channel, Mark's channel. I just call him Mark. Whenever I see him, I'm never like, "Hey, it's it's M&M Rail." I just say, "Hey, it's Mark." The only person I call by their handle is Bubs, because his real name is Brandon, but his thing is Bubs031. So I'm always like, I always call him just Bubs. I don't know. How can I get a hold of some Go equipment? I need some Canadian. Well, I buy all my stuff from OVRtrains.com, and they're probably halfway between both you and I. It's about a 7-hour drive for me and probably about a 6-hour drive for you. But I order everything from them. They're probably one of Canada's largest retailers. They have a bunch of Go Transit stuff still. So they've got the Rapido bi-level coaches. They also have F-59s, like tons of F-59s left. And it's all HO scale. I think they have buses as well, Go Transit buses. All that stuff is Rapido, which is also a Canadian company. So check them out, OVRtrains.com. I don't know if anybody can do it. OVRs.com. They're portal as well. And there's I mean, it's not much of a link. It's just that's the website. Yeah. So you can always check them out. Also, they've started making their own models as well. So they've got the trash gondolas, and they are doing their own version of the trash gondola, and they just arrived in store early this week. So, or last week. Is it the new week? Do you guys think of Sunday as the starting of your week, or is it the end of your week? I don't know. I'm always confused with that. Everyone's different too. So last week they got them in. Okay, I think I got all four walls here. Just gotta sand them all down. Actually, one thing I went for was the Maple Leaf train, which goes from Toronto to New York. It's an Amtrak, and I believe it has there's a P-42 with the I think it's number 910 or something like that, and it's a special paint scheme that they have now. I don't know all my Amtrak, so you'll have to forgive my lack of information on it. But yeah, and I think it's a version 5 Amtrak or Amfleet coach cars. And I think there's a snack car as well. Yeah. No worries, Calvin. Also, you'll find that their prices are very, very comparable to most other shops. Like this kit here was, I think, about like $35 to $40 Canadian, where most other shops in Canada would probably have it for like 50 plus. So that's just kits, right? Like locos, I usually save about $50 per loco shopping through there, and rail cars about $5 to $10 depending on the car. I mean, sure, the exchange rate will get you, but apparently their shipping to US is like $8 now. Yeah, it's very, very inexpensive for Otter Valley to ship to the United States now, which is even better because now they're reaching farther for less. Lee wants to know, he's saying kit bashing is the best. This will consist of 5 building kits. Whew. I definitely love a good old-fashioned kit bash. Sometimes most of the time, depending on the kit, like most of these like storefronts and whatnot, I do it, just how it looks on the box. But other times it's like, depends on the kit, right? Okay, so this should be easy peasy, right? Is it safe to say that it's going to be easy peasy? I don't things just because I can just reach out to OBR and say, hey, I know you got extras, throw one aside for me, because they're usually really good like that. But it's such a tough call though, because when you think about it, the CN GP9, like the GP9 by itself, amazing, right? But then you got a slug, which is like half of the locomotive, is the same price as the locomotive. So right there, for a locomotive and a slug, you're looking at like $700 Canadian, and then you still need nice. Then you need the 2 locomotives with the slug. So it's like, it's $1,000 right there just for that setup. But I'm considering it because I did have a set of GP9s from Walthers, and they were really nice. They had lock sound. They cost me like $200 each. But then, of course, Rapido announces theirs, and I'm like, so much more detail, all the bells and whistles. So, yeah, so I sold those in hopes to be able to get the Rapido ones. So we'll see. The one thing I don't like, and it's probably because it's a prototypical thing, I like the zebras more than the original CN, or like whatever they had, the delivery one. But the whatchamacallit, the slug only comes with the red one. It doesn't come with the zebra. But I would rather have 2 zebras with a slug. Maybe it's just me. 2 zebras with a slug, I think that would look amazing. But it doesn't, you have to buy the zebras separately, and you can't buy a slug separately. So I don't know. I don't know what to do there. So I'm going to wait and see. And it's Trackside Mike. How's it going, Mike? And Cornell? How's it going, Cornell? Rapido does appreciate your money. And, all the support that comes along with it. I've been buying Rapido stuff for a really long time, and I'd like to think that 90% of my collection is Rapido. All my Go cars, all my Go locomotives, all my Via cars, all my Via locomotives, then a lot of my O&R stuff, like my gondolas, my ore cars. Yeah, I just have like a few locomotives from other manufacturers because, they don't make, O&R SD40s. So, yeah, I got to get some Bowser stuff too. Bowser is my number one though. I love Bowser. If you have never ran or tried out a Bowser locomotive, I urge you to go to your closest retail location and just say, hey, can I try out this Bowser? I heard that Bowser is amazing. Can I try this? And you will not be disappointed. Unless they say, no, you can't do it. Get out of my store. But Hopefully they're not like that, and they let you try the Bowser locomotive. One of the best running Bowser locomotives, I think, to date, would have to be the Red Barn. It's a SD40-2F. There's more on the way, just in case you can't find one. But if you have never tried one of these locomotives, you have no idea what you're missing out on, which is, up until now has been totally fine. You've been content with that. But I would definitely recommend finding one or trying one out, or even search for a video online. But I know like watching it online is different from actually trying it yourself. So yeah, see if you can find one, because you won't be disappointed. Oh, Perry got his first Bowser locomotive this past week. It was the Eco, right? I thought you had other ones. But the Eco that just came out, it looks amazing. I wish I did CP, just so I could, try to get this locomotive. I mean, they're not cheap. So, but yeah, the Eco is a really, really nice locomotive. And you got to remember, like, companies like Bowser have paved the way for locomotives like Aurora's SD60, right? Like, because you've got the classification lights, which now you're seeing on a lot more locomotives, but Bowser was the first one to do that. And you're seeing a lot more roof detail and whatnot as well. It's not just about the underside, top side too. But then you have companies like Scale Trains, who I'm pretty sure were the first ones to do the rotating bearing caps. Now you're seeing that on a lot more rolling stock and locomotives. Scale Trains have just the slug, and to get the mother, you have to get Athearn to pair up with that, and that's like the Rapido I'm getting both. There you go. Highland Husky Mooch Squad, how's it going? Thanks for joining today. My first Bowser was the MLW C630. And Bubs gave you his ST60Fs. Oh, are you going to do some weathering? I'm thinking about that too. I gotta get mine weathered, because it's apparently like they already look really well detailed, but when you weather them, it brings out even more detail once it's weathered. And I'm like, oh, I don't think I'm ready for that. But at the same time, I'm like, bring it on. So we'll see. But I think it's something I should do at some point. All right, so I've already glued 4 pieces together, and this is the the main structure of it, right? Like the roof, which I'm pretty sure goes like this or something. I got to clean off that roof piece though. Yeah, let me just do that real quick, because that's going to be a pain. See, this kit is not difficult at all. Well, not for me anyways, but, there's no real challenge to it, except for these little knob things, but I don't know if they're going to, I don't think that they'll get in the way. Also, if you guys like to build kits and you like to build along, I'm pretty sure real soon, we're going to come to a conclusion for what our next group build will be. We did one at the beginning of the year, and this is for anybody who might have missed out or had no idea. We actually did a group build, And I think there was about 5 or 6 of us who had the exact same kit. And it's one that a few of us decided on. And we all built it live together. We're still waiting for Bubs to finish his and tell us what it is. But most of us are done. I like to give Bubs a hard time. And yeah. And we do it as a group. And we get to see different variations of one kit. And, we talk about it. Yeah. It was fun. I had fun. But we're gonna do another one real soon. So stick around, stay tuned for that. Because I don't know if we've decided yet. I don't know which one we're going with. There was a couple of really good options. So we'll have to see. Test. Nice. Is it shameless that I have the GVO backdrop? Like, you know how like Mike just bought a hoodie, a GVO hoodie. I've got the GVO background there. Yeah. Completely shameless. I don't even care. I like it. No shame. 12:28. Yes, or you could look at your computer. It's charging. It's on its little. It died when it was in the car. It was sad. We had a funeral for it and everything. Because I hate it when my phone dies. So then I feel like I'm cut off from the rest of the world. I'm like, but what if somebody's trying to contact me about a train that just, or something? What if it's about a train and they can't reach me? Number 7. So that's a 2 times 8 and 2 times 7. And this is... Oh, I guess that's both those. So then... I guess that really doesn't matter then, does it? Probably not. Okay. I keep getting notifications from Mark that he keeps sending me tests. Yeah, he keeps sending me tests. What a guy. That's okay. On Thursday, I'm just gonna text him funny things while he's live. So him. Funny things, that is. While he's trying. And then he'll be laughing and no one will know why he's laughing. And then he'll forget that he's live. And then he'll have to explain to everybody why he's laughing. Once he realizes that he's live again. That's how we are. That's our dynamic. The people of Apple thank you, Mark. You're doing the people's work. Oh man, I was hoping that wasn't a problem. Turns out it is. Well, there was a couple of really good options, Wigwag, and I'm not sure if some of these kits are wood or not. But also at the same time, is like I was trying to keep to a like a $50 kit limit, because I know not everybody can just run out and get a kit, especially if it's like $70, $80. There's one kit that I found that I really wanted, and to get that to Canada, you're looking at about $150, and it's not even that big of a kit. It's because it's a licensed kit, and it's like, I can't expect a bunch of people to go out and get a 50 or a whatchamacallit. What is it called? A $150 kit? Yeah. So. So I try to be respectful in that regard. Do I even need these instructions? Probably not. And you know how you know that this is backwards? Because the grooves are not there. This has to be turned around. I don't want to lift it. Fine, I'll lift it. This seems like the kind of thing that I would glue into place and then totally mess up and then complain about later. Oh, you have to do those storefronts too. Okay, so if I turn it around this way, because you'll see that there's two grooves here, and those two grooves should line up with these two grooves, so that that'll sit like that, right? That makes sense to me. And then I'll do the other one. There's also a little chimney here too, which I need to sort that out. The thing I like about this one compared to the other ones is that I can put like a little bit of a bigger retail store into each of these, where the other ones are very small. Like, you could do a flower shop in one of the other ones, but I wouldn't do a huge flower shop in one of these. Barber shop, maybe one of the other ones, but these ones here, I can't see too much without giving it away. Darn. Okay, well, I got ideas. I got some ideas, guys, and hopefully it pans out, because I like it when things pan out and it works. Because it doesn't just involve this kit, it involves the surrounding area and where I'm putting it on the layout. And I like to plan, 10 steps ahead. Oh, I definitely do need a tattoo shop somewhere on the layout, or in the downtown, I should say. And then just put like neon lights in the window and stuff like that, which would be really cool. There's a module, and it's yellow, from the Woodland Scenics light hub system. So the yellow hub, when you plug lights into it, they turn off, and you can make it faster, make it slower. But I'm assuming, and it is an assumption, that when you put a colored LED, it'll be like, red flashing, blue flashing. So if I do certain colors in the front window there and I have them flash, it should almost look like, some certain stores that have a lot of bright flashing lights in the front window. And I knew a couple of tattoo parlors that do have things like that, where it's just like neon signs. I won't be able to put a neon sign in the front window there, but that's something. Hey, Finn, how's it going? Are you going to paint this kit or leave it plain? I paint all my kits, all of them. And usually, and this is one of the things I always like to look at, the way that Walthers used to do their kits, and I'm going to show you the front. Whatever they put on the front of the kit, that's typically the plastic that it's molded in. It's definitely not the case here, as you can see, because this one's done in 3 different colors of brick, where this is all one. So I would never leave that as is. And then, of course, you have all the other little details as well. And typically what they would do is, let's say, for example, if you've got doors, like the doors might be green, and then this part here might be green as well, and it's all molded on plastic that's green. And then when you put it all together, it would look exactly like how it is on the box. Now they have somebody professionally put the kit together and paint it in one way, as opposed to, well, it's good to go right out of the box. So I wouldn't put this on the layout as is, just because it looks very plain. And I like to do a little bit more to it. I want to add that sense of, okay, well, they built one brick building, then they built another one with a different kind of brick, and then they were contracted to do another building attached to it, but they needed another color of brick at that point. So that's what I like to emulate here with this. But you can always take a walk downtown, like one of your local downtown areas, and just see how the buildings are done. And you can get some very easy ideas just from taking a walk downtown. I don't have any picture examples here, but but yeah, I'm sure you guys get what I'm saying. So these ones here, I just want to take a look at the front, because even with these, right? Like, so you've got, there's one building that's right, like, I don't even know if you can see that because I'm in the way. Actually, okay, here, let me do this. It might be easier to do it like this. Okay. So let's see. Okay, so that's one store right there. You've got access door, so that one door there to go upstairs apartments. Right. So there another here. So this is another store. So that right now you got one store, two store with an access door to go up to the apartments. But then you've got another storefront here with another access door right at the end to go up to more apartments. And these are all, you can have those as apartments, like separate apartment buildings, or maybe even smaller retail things that don't need a storefront. I do believe like stuff like Remax, for those who live in Canada, Remax as a place where you can go and, buy a house, right? Or see what's available to buy in the area, and they help you find a house. They will usually take up properties like that, which could be a living space, but they turn it into an office. where you can go and buy and sell your house. And, you can browse photos and you'll have an agent help you. So, you could always put a Remax up here. It doesn't have to be a house, like where somebody would live. Although if you have a train store down here, that I would want to live up here. Sometimes people do that too. They'll own this store here, but they'll live right above the store. Kind of like Bob's Burgers. Right? You can always do, somewhat of a Bob's Burgers thing where you put a little restaurant down there and then you can have the living quarters right above. And then everybody's like, who's Bob's Burgers? Sorry, I'm an adult that watches cartoons. But yeah. Let's see. Oh, Remax is in the States as well? Yeah, see, things I don't know. I don't get out that much. Yeah, separating the interiors into 3 separate sections would be ideal. But this way, the only benefit I can see to doing it like this, where it's open concept on the inside, is that you really get to break it down as far as what gets lit and what does not get lit. And I mean that with lighting and whatnot. So as far as an interior, yeah, you can put a floor halfway through here that goes end to end, right? And then you can just do little separate wall sections, and maybe you want a dummy wall right behind the front window here to not light up these windows back here. For me, and where this goes, this doesn't matter at all because the back of the building, it's facing the tracks, and this here faces the front where you would be looking right at it. So I'm going to most likely be paying more attention to what you see here opposed to what you see here. Just an idea. So then we want to look at front doorways. Now, I'm not sure if there's a specific door for each one or what. '29, 103, and 101, which I'm pretty sure are these. $10. $102. What? Oh, okay. So why does it do that? Because it gives you these, but it also gives you these. Are these not the same thing? So that's a little different. Yeah, these are different heights. Well, you see that, but I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, well, I'll use those opposed to these. I guess these are for a different door altogether, which to me doesn't make sense because you'd think that they would just give you one set of doors for the front. Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see the variation side of it, but the problem is that all these doors are different sizes. Even so, I'll take this off here and I'll show you because I'm gonna obviously use this one. So there's this door here, which it looks like this. It goes inward so that you walk into the door. I don't know if that makes sense or not. Anyway, so here's the equivalent right here, right where my finger is, right here. And then when I put this one in front of this one, I mean, there's there's not too much, like it's not a crazy amount of difference, but there's still a size difference there. So it really thinks, why would you give me two different doors, two different sizes? What's the proper one here? Now I'm just going off the instruction booklet where it says use number 10, what was it? 101? 103. So this is number 103. But and the door that's supposed to be inward is the middle one. So this one here. So technically this should go here like this. And yeah. So I'm going to turn that around. And technically, yeah, it really wouldn't work. Like, it would work for this one as well, kind of. But at the same time, not really. I don't know. You could probably put it on either or, but I think I'll put it in the middle just to kind of... just to do this thing. Because I don't like sitting and thinking about it too much, because then I start overthinking it. Yeah, I mean, they do have a tendency to throw a lot of extra parts into these kits here. Some more unnecessary than others. There is one here which is a much smaller door, which would be for the much smaller doorway. That I can totally see. So I'm okay with that because it actually looks like it's supposed to go there. But the other two here, which are really tall, would take a bit more convincing for me to want to put those over there. Okay. Hey, Lauren, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. What is that? What's the kitty corner? Who makes those? Is that DPM? I can't remember. No, those are wood kits, right? Lee's asking, they go different kit. I get that all the time with the Walthers. Just cheaper to keep them all on the... Yeah, because I mean, there's a lot of kits where they use a lot of similar pieces, so they just like, okay, well, it needs sprue number 25, so make sure sprue number 25 goes in this box set. And I think that's why I have so many extra parts, because from all the Walthers kits, you just get an abundance. Or there's some kits that I've gotten where I get full wall sections. And I save pieces like that. Well, actually, I save all my spare pieces. But I specifically save pieces like that because when it comes to doing, let's say, like a backdrop building, or if I'm doing a custom build, they come in very handy. I think I might have missed some comments. I'm just going to scroll a little. Anthony says, do you Mets for interior for your buildings? They are I ordered from them, and they have interior lighting with the kit as well. Check them out. I have heard of Roomettes. I just haven't had a chance to browse their inventory or, purchase any. I think it's just because I've been so focused on trying to get everything else, like all the main buildings done and painted and all that, and then I'll come back and I'll do the interiors later. I usually have it where, the base like this will be on the layout. I can remove the shell like this from the base. And then, I'll come back and I'm going to, do little things on the inside there to bring the whole thing to life. Oh, I was worried that it wasn't touching the ground. It's just the lip there. Okay, that's good. My cat was meowing. Daytona Steve is at the shop and Lucy's tattoo parlor. All right. So this is quite a fun kit. I love doing these. I can't wait to do more because I think that I have a bunch more kits that I could probably fit on the layout. Oops. So I also want to glue these down. And then I'll just come back and I'll put the grip tape over each section. Do I have pliers? I don't have anything that could. With all these drawers that have a pair of pliers, they're probably out on the layout. Not gonna lie. Okay, fine. I'll just do it like this. Yeah, that doesn't work. Okay, well that's not gonna work. I don't have pliers, so I just have to do the little shaky thing instead. Okay. I tried. I really tried. All right, Calvin, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the sub and the follow. We'll see you around. And I think next week this will already have the primer on, so I'll be able to start doing some brickwork to it. And if you ever find yourself on this side of the border, just cook some bacon and someone will come running. That's how we roll. We can smell bacon from like all the way. It's like the Batman symbol, but for Canadians. I'm surprised at how well this is all going together. Too much surgery to it, which, obviously is always a good thing. Yeah, it's Eminem on Thursday night at I was gonna say 7 o'clock. Nope, that's tomorrow night. It will be on James's channel. If he's been under the weather, if he's not feeling well, then we'll probably be back on Mike's channel, Trackside Mike, tomorrow night. But they always put up the notification for who's going live well before the actual live itself. So just make sure you hit that notification bell. That way you are notified when someone is going live or plan to go live or is live. And you're always in the know and you don't miss a thing. Now, I don't know why they would not just hold that right onto the front. It's beyond me why they do the things they do. But apparently they did not mold this on there, and you gotta glue this on yourself. They're like, no, we did everything else. You gotta glue this on. So it is what it is. But it's kind of weird. Was it James last Monday? I guess, yeah, it is Mike's. Okay, so yeah, we'd be on Mike's channel regardless because James was live last week. Hey, DK is a member. Welcome aboard, DK. I thought you were already a member. And that was the... Well, either way, welcome aboard. Couple of dates for you guys to kind of note down in your calendar. Just for 2023. June, at some point in June, I want to say, and I'm kind of hoping, if it does work out, June 10th for the Canadian version of the YouTuber meet and greet. And I did one last year. We all met at OVR, and we had a blast. We went rail fanning, shopping. Lauren was a gracious host. He bought us pizza, and yeah, it was great time. So we're gonna do something else this year, and I'm hoping for June 10th, which is a Saturday. I hope all you guys can make it, but just watch for more information in the near future, and we can all hang out for the day. Another date that you guys are going to want to write down would be September 16th. And if Lauren is still in the chat there, if OVR Trains is still in the chat, Lauren and OVR always do, or at least they have been doing for the last several years, a manufacturer pop-up event at OVR Trains in Tilsonburg. And I believe that is the date for this year. I was there last year with Bubs. Bubs and I, we drove down. We were down for a couple of days, and we had a blast. We, got to meet Intermountain. We hung out with Bernard from Mini Prince, and many, many others. And this year, it's actually said that it's going to be even bigger than last year. So you'll want to remember that down. You'll want to make sure that you have that date available so that you can come out and hang out and see some cool new products from a lot of awesome manufacturers. And because it's in September, basically OVR just dropped their first car, and they should have 2 other cars in by that time. Hopefully, fingers crossed, 2 more cars by September. They might even have some new announcements. I know a lot of these other manufacturers will have announcements. These are the shows that, you start seeing more samples of products that are upcoming and whatnot. So our prior train show is the first week in June. So that would be June 3rd and 4th, I believe. Oh, yeah, Perry put it in there. Yeah. So I got to go to that as well. Yeah, Woodstock is really nice. It's a nice area for, to stay in. I have some friends out in Woodstock. They own a pig farm. They actually do the bacon for the Baconator from Wendy's, from Wendo's. Some top bacon right there. It's cool stuff. But yeah, those are just a couple of days there that that might be very beneficial for you to write down. I don't think I've ever bought bacon from Shoppers Drug Mart. Can't say. Sobeys, probably. That, or there's a lot of independent, and I don't mean independent grocers, I mean like butchers. Sometimes we go to the butcher because, support, local businesses as opposed to big chain, Maple. I'm like Maple Leaf bacon is okay, but, I like it, where my bacon is still oinking at me, It's that fresh off the pig, So yeah, always support the little guys, And of course, for those of you who do on being up in the Great White North in August, last year we did a barbecue, a bit of a barbecue, um, and we were trackside in Smiths Falls. So I'm going to be doing another one of those this year, and we usually do it in August. It might even be on the 2-4, which is the 19th and 20th. So it might be one of those days. I'm not sure which day. Maybe the 19th. I don't know. We haven't really set specific dates for these, but that's a rough idea for the barbecue that we would be planning on doing. Last year we saw so many trains, and we got to eat burgers and hot dogs, and it was great. And we're like, what, 10 feet from the track? You can't get a better view because it's a yard. It's a CP yard. So you've got VIA rolling through in both directions, and then you've got CP trains rolling through going up to Montreal, and then you've got CP trains going in the opposite direction going out to wherever, right? I've seen a lot of really nice trains roll through there, including, but not limited to, military units, so the CP military trains, and the Every Child Matters, that bright orange one. I also saw a Union Pacific, the yellow ray. I never thought I would ever see one in all my days, especially in Canada. But yeah, it just rolled right through. And I was like, huh, that's different. So that was a good day. But what really made it fun wasn't just the trains or the food. Got to hang out with Trackside Mike and Perry and James and Bubs and Mark. We all hung out for the day. Because that's really what it's about, friendships and stuff, and getting to talk trains. James is getting too excited. He was going to jump a train. And we all got to film a lot of great content that day, which is great because, obviously we all share a common interest, right? We all got YouTube channels. We all love trains, both real and miniature, and, Yeah, I want to try to catch 7022. We saw the military green one, which again still really nice. But my favorite is 7022, where it has that. I mean, depending on what color you see, I see like a reddish burgundy, like almost like a blood red bottom to it, where the rest of it's gray. But other than that, it's more of a oxidized red. So I don't know, because it's dirty anyways. So it's not going to be its painted color, right? But yeah, so it was a good time, and we plan on doing that again this year. I just got to organize. I don't think I'm doing my States trip this year. We're postponing that. But I'll be going down to I gotta remember, sometimes my kids watch. Sometimes they're in the background, so I can't say too much. But Florida's still a go for November. So. Yeah, Wigwag wants to come out and hang out with us. That's cool. So these are all little roof pieces. I don't know if I need to put those on every roof. I don't even see them in the picture, which makes it a little bit more difficult because I can't really assess. Okay, so every single one of these you're supposed to use. Like, I guess you can put one there, but then you've got two on one roof. You know what I mean? Like that, and you just got one there already. So I don't know. Maybe you do this. It looks stupid. I don't like them. Have the one for sure, but I don't like them on there. I don't know. That's weird. And then what do we got here? So we got a platform. Hey, Mystic, how's it going? And I hope all of you guys are planning to go to Springfield in January, because I'm already planning on going to Springfield in January. I thought it was a lot further than what it actually is. And it turns out it's only 6 hours away from me. And I can drive 6 hours. Because, I thought it was like 11 hours. Don't ask me why I thought it was 11 hours. But I honestly thought it was 11 hours away. And then I looked at Google Maps. And Google Maps tells me, no, you're wrong. It's literally like 6 hours. And I've driven all the way to Otter Valley and back in a day. Mind you, I feel like garbage for like the next couple of days after. However, I'm not opposed to staying at a hotel. I don't mind. As much as I prefer the comfort of my own bed, because who doesn't, right? I'm not opposed to it. Especially if Springfield is like a weekend show. Go take your time, walk around, talk to the vendors, learn some stuff, take pictures, lots of pictures, video. When you go to something like that, you really want to enjoy the experience. You don't want to go and be rushed and miss out on something and be like, you know what I should have done? Not rushed. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but are you supposed to put those other pieces on there? It only says to put the 1, but I don't like the front of that. But I don't think there's a way that I can. Yeah, no, there's no way. There would be no way. Okay, well, let's build the stair set. Hours just then driving to Ontario. That's the spirit. And I'm going to make sure I have my stickers and whatnot done before any of this. Because everybody's got some really cool stickers, and people have been really nice, and they've sent me out stickers for my layout. I definitely want to be able to return the favor and send out some stickers. I do have some stickers that are available. If you saw Trackside Mike, he had purchased stickers from my store. That's going to be a different sticker. You can always buy the sticker if you want. But I'm also going to have stickers where, they're stickers that I can just give out, So it's not a huge deal. But yeah, just options for you, right? How does this go? Okay, so that would go there, that would go there. Okay, that makes sense. I don't really give you much of a thing here to work with. Amherst, probably. I would probably go on either the Friday. Yeah, I'd probably go up Friday and then leave on Sunday. Probably. I'm not that far in the future yet, but that might be what I would probably do. Now, I don't know if Lauren at Otter Valley would need help. I know he asked Mike to help him this past year, and I couldn't go down because I was working and I didn't have that time off, so I was very unavailable. But I do like to help, and even if I don't, I'm still going to be there for the fun stuff. Why does this look like this? For me, I think either way, I would have to drive because like I could take the Via from Ottawa to Toronto and then maybe the Maple Leaf. I don't know. I think I would be taking like fines. I like to be able to drive and then just go where I need to go when I want to go and not wait for the train. I know, weird, right? Because I like trains. But if I did a train trip, it would have to be a planned train trip where I just don't want to drive and I have to be far enough to not want to drive. So it probably would not be that. Be better to go via Montreal. And then does something go from Montreal to Springfield? Is that how that works? Even better question, Perry, are you coming to Springfield? Perry has to come to Springfield. Whoops. Am I going to get a hotel room and paint the walls black like Johnny Cash? I can go out on a limb and I don't want to have to front that bill to repair a room. Johnny Cash, he probably has the cash. I mean, geez, his name is literally Cash, so he can afford to get away with something. Me, I'm artistic, but I'm like not that kind of artistic, where I can paint a room black and then everyone's all like, "Whoa, he's so cool." I can't get away with that. People would ask a lot of questions. Perry could probably drive the 6 hours straight. I'd need about 4 pit stops. Probably. Yeah, pit stops are important. You gotta stop for pit stops and munchies and beverages, and then more pit stops because you had to, get the big gulp instead of just a regular little one, But it happens. It happens. And you drive by some tracks, you're like, "Oh, pull over." What if a train comes by? That's who we are. So that just delays the trip even more. No joke whatsoever. Whenever we drive down to Toronto, okay, well, I'll drive to Toronto, but my wife will be in the car and whatnot. Even though I've seen it a million times, and we've driven to Toronto a million times, you're in Toronto when you start seeing train tracks and go locomotives and stuff like that. And every time we go through, I always slightly grab my phone and throw it at my wife, and I'm like, "Hey, take a picture." I can't, I'm driving. So you need to take the picture. You got to do this for me. I'm sure it annoys her, but that's how it is. That's how it's got to be. I mean, I can't picture I'm driving. That would be bad, right? Look, guys, I built a stair set. Yes. I'm going to have to put another support piece here. I don't like this stair set, if I'm being honest. Huh. Oh, I guess that goes downward, like that. Okay, so it's got to go like that. Yeah, it's a weird stair set. I'm not a big fan of this. Anyways, as the year goes on, throughout 2023. Is it still 2023? I don't know. As the year goes on, I'll be letting you guys know about any upcoming events and whatnot that'll be going on throughout here. And I hope to see any and all of you, or, whatever. If you can make it, great. If you can't, no worries, no worries. I totally get it. It's not always accessible, right? You can't do everything. Although I'd like to do everything, but garbage. Okay, I need to glue that road. Okay, so while I'm waiting for that to dry and that to dry, I have to glue some road together here. I wanted to make a point of doing this because this is going to go right across the front of the actual stores or shops, whatever you want to call it. This kit is going in my downtown. I'm still very focused on working on my downtown section, as I'm now adding lights and whatnot to it. If you missed my last video, which I did, well, not my last video, because I did a live where Mark came over and we were running trains, but the video I did the day before that, which was also a live, I did a unboxing of a bunch of stuff that I recently purchased from OVR Trains. This kit was one of those things, but it also shows off a number of other things like some lights and whatnot, and a couple of cars, a couple of cylindricals, and a few other cars and whatnot. I did an unboxing of some of these Walthers cars, and I also installed some lights. And I basically show you what I'm doing with the lights and in the downtown section there. Yeah. So if you missed it, go check it out. But I'll be doing another layout update video come April, where I talk about taking my layout apart and whatnot, because, April Fools and stuff, because we do that. But yeah, just in case anybody had any ideas for videos for April. Hey, James. How's it going, James? Hopefully you're feeling better. Robitussin fixes everything. Alrighty. Got two more floor or road pieces here. This is the Walthers asphalt system. So, I don't know. It's called the asphalt system, but it's road. It's road. It's what it is. You put all the road pieces together. The road comes with sidewalk. You can put the sidewalk together. You paint it, and it looks fancy. You put cars on it. They got a little bit of a tilt to them, so it adds that realism. Sure beats messy concrete stuff, whatever it's called. Plaster. That would be a really good April Fool's video. would be to say you've expanded the layout, but actually tore down half the layout. If I was smart, which I don't really think that far in advance, but when I moved in here, I should have pre-filmed something where it was like, hey guys, I had to, take apart my layout, getting out of the hobby. I don't like trains, something like that. But then held on to that clip for a good 2-3 years, which I don't know how I'd be able to do that. It sounds like it would take a lot of space up in my phone. And then basically, after building the layout and doing all this scenery and stuff, I released that clip as though it's a modern thing, and then you guys would have been like, no. I'm like, because you don't know it's, I mean, at this point, everyone knows it's April Fool's. It's like, it's almost impossible to, pull out the perfect gag when it comes to an April Fool's joke, just because everybody knows, But it's a good idea. Just didn't think that went all the way through. Hey, New Haven, how's it going? Thanks for joining. Song and dance, eh? So just to kind of show you, this is roughly what happens here. So this is your road. Well, this is half of a road. Technically, it's supposed to be 2 of these wide. So it's supposed to be much wider, but this is the edge of my layout here. And what would happen if I can? I don't know if I can or not. Probably. Okay, yeah, sort of. Okay, so there's one. There's 2. This is a lot harder than it looks. Okay, so then I add the sidewalk onto there, and then that goes right up to the road like that. And that's how you add realistic looking road. Voila. So it's going to be kind of this concept here. I've got, my other building here. There's going to be an alleyway here. And there's probably going to be graffiti on the inside. And, you know what happens. Maybe some trash bags. A dumpster fire. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But yeah, that's generally how something like that put together. And then I've got this little thing here that goes on the back. It's not going to stay because I'm going to have to glue it. Oh, it does stay. Okay, neat. And these ugly chimneys here, which I don't like. Okay, maybe that. Oh, okay, there's another square. Okay, that's much better. Yeah, but even that I don't really like. So, cat hair. And yeah, there's the signs that go out front, and then there's these drainage. There's gutters that go downspouts. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Downspout. There's a few downspouts here that do need to be added to the building as well. I'm going to save those for after I paint the brick and all that. I'll paint them white, most likely. Brown is also an acceptable color for a downspout. Possibly. Dumpster fire. Well, I mean, like, there's no hole here. Just right. Well, not even here. Is it's just this piece. This whole piece attaches to this wall here, where there's just little squares. But what's going to happen is that when I cover this over with the grip tape, I can basically put this wherever. So I can put it back here, and put this one back here. Kind of like how this is minus the cutoff, or I can stick it right in the middle like this. It really depends on how the interior is going to look. But essentially, I can just do even something like that. Nothing too crazy. Again, I'm not going to overthink it because it's just going to be something that gets glued to the roof. There's no other vents for some reason. That's it. There's no vents, no AC units. I don't know if it's supposed to. I'm sure you can buy detail parts from Walthers for stuff like that. Hey, Chris, by the way, Chris May. And let's see how. I'm planning on having all my road base to be made up of limestone, sprayed over with mag chloride to keep the dust under control. Huh. Neat. Just going to snip this. There's nothing left out on the spur, but those are the whatchamacallits, the downspouts. And those are extra pieces. I don't know if I showed you this yet, but yeah, these are the window coverings. Again, not completely sure if I'm going to use them, but anytime you get a kit like this, they always include different covers. What? That's just I want to show you guys that that's what you get with it. Alrighty. We're done a little bit early today. Didn't not go for the full 2 hours because I'm done my kit and don't really have another thing to work on because originally I was going to do the brickwork on my other kit, but I wanted to see how this one would go together because the footprint and whatnot, I wasn't completely sure how big it was compared to the other one, and I want to sit it on the layout and kind of get a feel for it because I'm still working in that area. So doing a lot of the setup for it is, all the prep work, very important. But yeah, that was it. It's really, to be honest with you, 4 walls, the bottom base, 1 piece for the roof, and then you add these, which they each of them get sandwiched together, glued together, and then glued along the roof piece. This piece here which is like it's not an awning, it's just concrete work, very nice, front of the store or the building, I should say. And this honestly probably took the longest. It's just a fire escape type thing for the back of the building, which you'll probably never see, and you'll forget all about it, that it's, there and whatnot. Not a huge deal. And then, of course, just these little pieces here. That's 3 pieces. 3 pieces. 4 pieces for this one here. Very, very simple. Like I don't feel like I stressed over something. Any part of this, right? Very sandwiches together very nicely, fits very, very nice. Pieces were very clean. Even cleaning the individual pieces didn't take a lot of effort to do because there wasn't much holding them to the sprues. I find that there's some pieces where there's a lot of flash to them and whatnot, so it makes it that much more of an issue to get the pieces out of the sprue. But this one here came out very, very well, very easily, and lots of ideas. Oh yeah, also the little front doorways. You can see I had to add that in there, that one, and then that one as well. Didn't come with a lot of extra pieces, just like basically this, right? And then the only other thing I'd have to do are the plastic window inserts on the inside, but I don't do that until my windows are done, my the brickwork is done and everything, and it's complete. And then once the glass is in, then I can do the interiors. So that's it. That's all it is. I like the fact that they do an open section here because this allows you to run your wires up through. So when I put this on the layout, I can drill, a couple of holes in here, run the lights up through, and then I can even put my hub right in here and then just block the hub on the inside and keep all the wiring towards the back of the building. So it allows you to hide most of that, which is great because it doesn't hang down below on the inside of your layout, and it allows you to keep things a little bit neater going forward. Oops, and of course that moved again. There we go. I just got to clean up some of this sidewalk here, and then I'm going to figure out how the rest of this road is going to work and how much curb I need, and then it's good for the layout. Let's see what everyone's saying. Sunday brunch hasn't arrived yet, so you can't sign off. You can always go live. We can watch you eat. You can be like, Sunday brunch building sandwiches. So you'll build a sandwich for brunch, and then you eat it. And then you can talk about all the toppings. Can I set up a train on the island? Mark shoes with them, but can't stay. You have a great talent for constructing these buildings. It inspires me to someday move beyond kits. Thank you. Yeah, I do this mostly just to, I don't think that I'm like crazy talented or anything like that. I just, I build a kit. I love building things. Growing up, like for me, I was the kid that took all the cardboard boxes, the little cardboard tube from the end of the toilet paper roll. I would rifle through the recycling and say, what can I make from this? And I would build stuff. Mind you, most of it would be trains that I would put stuffed animals in and pull it down the hall. Not even joking. I wish I was joking, but my mom would probably testify. Oh, how pop cans used to come in a 2-4, but it was a tray. It was just a cardboard tray, and then the whole thing would be wrapped in plastic. I would save those trays. Those would be my gondolas. I didn't call it a gondola, but I would string a bunch of them together. I would stuffed little cats in the, and it was a train. That's what I would do. So for me, going from doing stuff like that, you know, building stuff out of Lego and whatnot, I loved my Lego. My kids love Lego too. I still very much get into building stuff like that, and I like to, you know, it gives us something to do together. And building many other things. Like I did a lot of the Warhammer stuff as well in my teen years. You know, building little army figures, building tanks, and little motorcycles and dreadnoughts, and you know, other cool stuff like that, and into building little kits like buildings. I don't know what else have I done. I love doing this stuff, and I like sharing it. I love passing on whatever knowledge. Like if you find something insightful, if I've helped you in some sort of way, then you know, mission accomplished, right? Because you know, I love being able to share this with everybody. And you know, if you ever need help, if you ever have any questions, if you know, how do you do this, or how would you do this, or what color would you paint this, you know, I can definitely point you in the right direction. But yeah, overall, you know, I just have fun, right? Like when Mark was over on Thursday, like things didn't run perfectly. I'll probably be the first to say that. However, we had a blast. We had such a fun time, and yeah, it meant the world to me that, you know, he came over and we got to run trains together. It was awesome. And you know, that's what it's about. That's what the hobby's about. Sharing, you know, the love and the passion for something like this with everyone, and that's what we do here. Yeah, and I really appreciate everybody for showing up, for hanging out. You're working on something, you know, building along, doing your thing while I'm doing mine, and I look forward to doing many, many more of these. Even beyond kits for my layout, I'm probably gonna pull a wigwag and just build kits. You know, that's how you get better, right? You just build kits, and you know, whether I need to use it on the layout or not, if I see it I like, I'm gonna probably build it, and if I can incorporate it into the layout, great. If not, then that's cool too. I've got a lot of shelves, and you know, like I got this module thing here. Show you. I did this. This is a picture frame that I did a little diorama in using a lot of little mini prints and stuff. These are all 3D printed. Like there's a little swimming pool and the trailer. Tim from They Make It Like That, he gifted this to me. It says subscribe, and on the other side it says go via. He graffitied that for me. Such an inspiration. Such a cool dude. So I always keep it nearby whenever when I'm doing work like this and whatnot, just because, you know, all these things that mean the world to me, right? So, yeah, so just have fun, you know? It doesn't need to look perfect. It doesn't need to be, you know, 110%. You know, have fun with it and enjoy what you do. Love what you do. And, you know, keep doing it. Don't quit. And, you know, who knows? You could build an empire. I mean, like I 2 years ago, almost 3. I'm almost at year 3 now. I've been working on my layout now for almost 3 years, and I never thought I would build something that big. I'm only looking forward to doing the next one, but I got to finish this one first. So, do you guys want to see that crane I was talking about earlier? I got to turn the camera around, but this thing is massive. I was mentioning that Mike had purchased a crane because Bubs was at a train store, and he found a crane and he shared it to our group chat. And Mike was like, "I want that." Of course he does. So I'm going to show you. It's just on the side. You'll have to disregard the purple makeup bag and stuff like that. It's obviously not mine. But there's the crane there. It's in a box, obviously. But that thing is like
2-3 feet tall. It's like obviously way on the other side of the room, but I have to have it like away so that the cat doesn't get that, any of those strings or anything like that. And he's super excited. So I have to get that to him somehow. I don't know how, but somehow. I'd love to build something like that. Yeah, just like a big crane that I'll never use or fit on my layout. That'd be awesome. I'll make like a little shelf here, and then I'll put the crane on the shelf. That'd be awesome. All right. Well, everybody, thank you so much. Thanks for joining me today. Have yourselves a great week. Again, tomorrow night, which is going to be Monday night at 7, we'll be over on Trackside Mike's channel. And then on Thursday, we'll be over on M&M Rails' channel, Mark, for Third Rail Thursday. And we'll be back next week, next Sunday. I got to get a kit. I'm going to need another kit. No, I should paint this. This will get me to the end of the month, I think. It has lots of little details and stuff like that. But what do I do next? What kit do I do next? What's coming out? That's a good question. Well, I guess you'll have to stick around and find out. All right, guys. Thank you so much. You have yourselves a great week. Keep building and run a train. It's Sunday. You got to go run a train today. I'm going to go do that right now. I've got a train to catch.